WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
right, 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Nice looking day to be out in the garden or to be listening to your radio about your garden. Carol Ann Baldwin is a master gardener, and she comes into these studios each Tuesday at this time for 1 hour to volunteer her expertise so that you and I can learn better how to make the garden grow pretty. And so if you'd like to call in right now, the number is 622-9622. The show title is In the Garden with Carol Ann. Good morning, Carol Ann.
Good morning, Larry. How are you this morning?
Good. Are you okay with the cold weather? It's not that cold, right?
It's nicer today.
Nice shirt. I like that shirt.
Thank you. You gotta try to dress warm.
Is it a real flannel, or is it one of those that looks flannel-y?
It's a thin flannel.
A thin flannel.
Yeah, it's a Florida flannel. So,
flannel.
Yes, I have another shirt underneath because it's not warm enough.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the only way to get warm stuff is either kind of mail ordering it or going up north to shop to find true winter weight clothing. Because Florida's Florida. It doesn't get cold here. Just ask, manufacturers and, retail outlets. We don't have cold weather in Florida.
That's interesting. I never thought about that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, buy a sweatshirt, here and go up north and pick up a sweatshirt or buy a sweatshirt there. And just feel the weight difference. Yeah, and you'll notice.
I have to try that.
And denim, denim too,
yeah.
usually too. So it's one of those little things that... It's a little chilly out, or has been. It's warming up today, and there's actually a little tiny mouse outside over by the lamppost in the middle.
Is.
He's probably cold.
There sure is. Robin, look, there's a mouse outside.
A little tiny guy, too. He's probably only maybe an inch and a half, 2 inches long. Because at first I thought he was a leaf blowing a little bit, and then I was like, no, he's moving.
Robin, look, there's a mouse outside.
Outside, yeah.
When we had a mouse in here, you should have heard Tish. I think Tish is the one who...
So when he squealed?
Well, it came down the hall. And it was coming behind her. And, she jumped.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Uh-oh.
Well, poor little guy. Well, he's hiding sort of in a shadow.
That lady doesn't see him.
Yeah.
Let's jump to the phones.
Sure.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning. Sonny calling.
Yes.
You can tell the snowbirds from the
from the locals.
Residents.
Yeah,
they're coming into the stores with shorts on, flip flops, and T-shirts.
Yes, yes. Well, I've seen a couple at least trying to pretend, and they'll have a sweater on maybe. But you're right, they've got shorts on, and I'm going, you're crazy people. It's cold out.
Well, I guess we become acclimated to different climates.
Yes, and it is funny because I do work with quite a few people who maybe have only moved here, in the last few years, and you'll see them one year and they'll have on, just shorts and T-shirt coming to work and it's 40 degrees out. And then the next year you see that they actually have maybe some slacks on and a sweater in the morning. And you go, you're getting accustomed to the warmer temperatures. So it's it's kind of fun.
But anyway, it's, it's a little observation I make.
Sure.
It's really something where I live out by the hits, near the hits anyway.
Right.
And it is amazing because you see a lot of these people, I guess they're here for the the horse show and everything, and they look perfectly comfortable running around in their shorts.
Yeah, well, because you look at what it is up north this week. I had some friends posting on Facebook this morning that it was 10 degrees, in my hometown this morning, and the day before it had been -9 overnight, or 9 degrees overnight, and that the power had gone out in their neighborhood, so they had to go hit a hotel for the night.
Wow.
Yeah.
The only thing I can tell you is, during the summers, well, I'm in Arizona and it's hot.
Right.
But it's not like Florida.
No, it is. Our humidity does make it feel a bit hotter. But what's funny is we can many times be 90 degrees here with our 86% humidity, and it's that same temperature when you get up the eastern seaboard, or warm, or even hotter up there, and we're going, you know what, it's nice down here. I don't know what y'all people are complaining about. Yeah. It's great out. But for us, unfortunately with us in the center of the state, we don't get those sea breezes that between June and September, and it's just can be oppressive on certain days. But usually that's only when a heat wave comes through. Normally, I have no problem with it. I'll take 85 degrees any day.
Well, the only thing I can tell you is my lawn's back to a beautiful shade of brown.
Yes, they are. They are, and it looks like we actually have. Now it's mid-January. Winter's here. Don't expect a whole lot of warm-ups between now and and not until first of March. I mean, if we get lucky, it looks more like we're going to be more seasonal. In where the grass is going to
I'm looking at my lawn now, and you can there's a lot of green. And guess what?
Those are the weeds. Yes. Well, that's it. You can find those spots that have got the weeds, and on some of the warmer days, it would allow you to go out there and just treat them. But you have to do it though on the warmer days.
I just had call in about my observations running around to the stores.
Oh yeah, always appreciate it.
All right, thanks again for what you do. Thank you, WOCA. And have a great day, everybody.
Thank you. You too, Sonny.
I love that. This is why I love your show. We don't get those kind of calls on the segments we do. I love those kind of calls.
Probably not. Yeah, just because just the scope of what we talk about here in the garden. It's anywhere from whatever we're planting, whatever the weather's going, because that has to do with our planting, and sometimes it's what we're eating after we plant it and grow it.
If I retire before you, I'm going to tune in to you.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to put it on, I think I'll even garden while I'm listening.
Maybe, yeah.
Good morning. You're on there with Carol Ann.
Yeah, good morning. I could bring a couple of kitty cats over to torment the mouse.
Oh, the poor little guy. He's cold. I think he was just a little one. I think he was cold. He looked lost, actually.
Yeah. My kitty cats are funny. They'll gang up on the mouse, all three of them, and they'll whack it back and forth like hockey players.
Right. Well, and there's a video that floats around through Facebook every so often, and it's the mouse is like playing dead. And when the cat walks away, the mouse is looking and finally gets his chance and flips over and makes a book of it. Yeah, he takes off. He's gone.
Oh, that's cool.
Definitely a Tom and Jerry story there.
Animals are fun. Animals are fun, right? Yeah.
All right, have a good morning, everybody.
You too, thank you.
Yeah, I think his cats would be disappointed. There's not much to eat on that
mouse.
No,
that one's sort of, that one's just, would have been a play toy, but, poor little guy.
I think my thumb, the tip of my thumb is bigger than that mouse.
He couldn't have been much. I mean, that's what I said. I thought he was a leaf when I first saw it.
Right.
And,
good morning.
And then I realized, wait a minute, that's too planned erratic. I don't know what the word would have been.
Yeah.
On the movement, I'm going, it's not that windy out there.
I don't know where it went. I don't see it.
He's probably gotten up and hopefully found himself a little sunny place to curl up and hide. Because he'd be a morsel even for some bigger birds.
Do you have the approach with things like that if they're in the house, okay, you either got to get out or you're dead? But if they're outside, I leave them alone.
If it's outside, that's where they live.
Even in your garden, right?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah, bugs don't come in my house. Be outside. You're in my house. I'm going to kill you. Rodents, same kind of thing. You don't belong in my house. It does not say that this, you're not paying the rent or the mortgage, the light bill. If you're contributing, maybe we can set something up. I mean, I did used to have pet rodents in the house, right? But I don't now. They've both passed away. Harry.
But if you were making YouTube money by taking videos of the mice in your house, then they would be paying the rent.
That's true if you were doing something. But no, I don't have any mice in the house. Thank goodness.
Sounds like Jim though. Sounds like he's got some mice.
He may have, or they probably get in. Like when you have weather like this, and that's something you do have to watch. With that, it is that time of year now that winter shows up for us. And we always usually have a mild. I'm just hunting for my chapstick here because the winter.
I didn't wonder anything else.
So they're wiggling around there. That when winter shows up, that the pests happen that they will migrate to your home or to your sheds, your outbuildings, all kinds of things like that, and you just have to figure out how they're getting in. Block that off. If it's insects and stuff, a lot of times you can treat the outside of the home if you don't want to treat inside or use baits inside or things like that.
Do you know what a pest control guy told me one time?
What's that?
He said to keep a bowl of water outside.
Okay.
Because if your neighbor puts rat poison, the rats will be searching for water. And if they find your water, then they won't chew through your washing machine hoses.
Or your water lines. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That actually happened to me. That's what he told me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, I had never heard of that. Yeah. And just, that's the whole thing. I'm not a big fan of the poisons for rodents and stuff like that, only because if it does exit your home, to go and die, in search of water. The birds of prey and things like that may get a hold of them,
and then they would die too.
They too would be poisoned, or even your pets. You figure that's
true.
If your cat doesn't know that erratically moving creature has been poisoned and finishes it off or whatever, and many times cats will consume a portion of their kill. And then you've got a very,
my
sick
cats
animal.
Must have, because I would find like the little pieces of blood, but no animal. And I'm thinking, it must have ate the whole thing.
They ate it or whatever. So that's one reason I'm not real crazy. And that, or if they don't go outside and or like you say, chew a water pipe or something like that, or die in your house, you've got to find that stink.
So I gave you a story. We had a story yesterday about a new Florida strawberry. What is that?
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's we have the Strawberry Festival that's coming up. Florida. We get some of the early crops on strawberries, and that's fantastic. That we get some of that fresh. Fruit. It's grown here. We can grow it here. One of the first crops. So if you are a grower, usually getting the better price for them, even though here it says, we compete with the Mexican and California fruit on that. I usually find that ours, at least, are on the market before, because they'd have to be brought across, at least for us, for our consumption.
Maybe just where we live.
Yeah, for our consumption, we're getting a lot more of the Florida strawberries. But this is a new one that was a cross. It doesn't say here in the article what he crossed to create this one, but this is, it's called Brilliance. And
it's a nice name.
Yeah, it is. And what he crossed two different strains, and it's where to go. It's they're saying that it could give the growers financial boost where the berries are ready to pick earlier in the season when the prices are at their highest, which that's always true with any of the fruit. The first crop coming in is your highest price. But it seems to have a larger fruit, better color, overall better taste than some of the other varieties we've had. Apparently exceeded expectations even of what they thought. And yes, it was developed by the University of Florida. So that's always pretty cool.
So who gets the proceeds from the patent? The university?
They probably will, for the first, until that patent either runs out or they sell the patent.
Wow, that's amazing.
For you to be able to buy the plant may take a few years. It may be, restricted initially to the commercial field there, which sounds real good. Yeah, the strawberry fields. But a lot of times those things after a couple of years do come into the ability for the homeowner to actually buy that specific plant to be able to grow it in their own home landscape. Because we used to, we could grow Sweet Charlies and festivals, and those were also Florida varieties that were developed that were commercial varieties of strawberry.
And P.S. Joe has already recorded and is playing the ad for the upcoming Strawberry Festival.
Right. Which the Strawberry Festival runs from Thursday, February 28th through Sunday, March the 10th. So
wow,
it's go try out the new, and it will be there that new strawberry. So it could be that we're already eating them in the stores.
If I bought some, I would be.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you
haven't gotten any strawberries?
No.
Oh, I have.
No.
Yeah, I have them on my
I always love them when I get them.
I got one package of them in the freezer. I ate the other package. I ate it in 2 days.
We were looking at
I do have a couple really big ones I got set aside. Now I got to get some dipping chocolate.
We were looking at this old video. I know you're not old enough to remember this, but the 1964 World's Fair.
Yeah, no, I wasn't born.
I have some memories of that.
Wow.
One of the memories I have is the Belgian waffle.
Okay.
But I forgot how huge it was, and everybody in this old video, they were talking about it. And it was a large waffle, and then it had whipped cream, and it had strawberries on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah, the big old Belgian waffles.
Yeah, they were huge. Yeah.
Well, that's the way they did.
And square. They were square.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, probably.
Because the
waffle iron.
I was only 9.
Yeah, the waffle iron would have been probably square shaped. Just because of manufacture. But also today we've got here, Robin had left for me, that the WOCA is sponsoring live on the Ocala Civic Theater stage, She Loves Me, a musical which was revived in Broadway in 2016. Delightful 1963 musical is the story you know and love from several generations of classic films. So it's sort of like a combination of all these different ones that make up sounds to be like a very funny. You can't even call it a love triangle. There's too many characters in this that secret admirers.
I don't know anything about that one.
Oh, you haven't read this on here?
No.
Let's see. In 1934 Budapest, love is in the air along with the sweet sense of I can't pronounce this, Marichek's, possibly Perfumia. The perfume shop has a small staff, but it's full of secret romances.
Okay.
So, you got George Nowak is corresponding with a woman he only knows as Dear Friend from their anonymous Lonely Hearts letters. As it turns out, his secret pen pal is actually the new clerk, Amelia Balish. By day, these two bickering clerks can't stand each other.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But by night, unbeknownst to each other, they're falling in love. And meanwhile, the shop's owner, Mr. Marichek, suspects that his wife is having an affair with one of his clerks. And he's right. But it's not the one he thinks. His wife is actually cheating on him with Stephen Kodali, who is also having a fling with another clerk, Iona Ritter. Through it all, the clerk, Ladishlava, I can't pronounce that one, Sepos, and delivery boy Arapad Laszlo are there to provide personal and professional support for their romantically entangled co-workers. It just... it sounds hilarious.
She Loves Me is what it's called?
It's called She Loves Me. We have a pair of tickets, which are valued $27 a piece for adults. Sounds like something that would, older teens, college students, and up. I don't think it would be for the under 13 crowd, just because I don't think they'd understand. Some of that. It's just there's no warning that it's a PG-13. Gotcha. It just sounds it's one that would just too many questions to be answered. Mm-hmm. But sounds like a fun one, and we have a couple tickets. I guess when we go to the bottom of the hour break, we will give away a couple tickets.
Solicit phone calls,
yeah. And if anybody wants, if they get tickets, we'll give them a couple passes to Appleton Museum as well, if they'd like.
Nice.
Because we've got some of those.
Both next door to each other.
There you go. You can make a whole day of it.
Yeah, go see some art and go see
a play. Go see,
two kinds of art.
Gives you that whole thing.
And then go get a Belgian waffle, and that's a culinary art.
There you go.
Where do you go around here to get a good Belgian waffle?
I don't know.
Okay, I thought maybe you had an idea.
I have no idea.
What makes a Belgian waffle Belgian?
I think it's the size of it, or possibly
really?
the flavor.
Just
Yeah,
has to
part
be
of
big?
that. Yeah, I'm not sure. It might be the batter. Something in the batter. I'm not sure. We may have to Google Belgian waffle versus Eggo. Yeah.
Yeah, really. I love Eggos too.
But that's just one of those kind of things. But no, it's a back into gardening. Get back into the swing of things here. It is the middle of January now. Is that time of year that you should be thinking about what you're putting into your spring garden, whether or not it's annual flowers for your beds, for your bedding plants, or your herbs or your vegetable plants. It's not too early now to start, because we think of that 6 to 8 week period before the last frost date, which is like the 15th of March, is when we start to think about when we want to plant. Is after that date. Usually we're pretty safe. We may have a few cool evenings, but nothing too bad. So if you're thinking about, if your tomatoes, your peppers, some of these things may take a heat mat underneath them, or the top of the refrigerator makes another really good place to start seeds, because it's warm.
I like
there.
that tip. Yeah.
It's warm up there.
Ready for another phone call?
Sure.
Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Yeah, probably the Belgian waffle batter has more baking powder in it to give it a bigger rise.
A fluffier, yeah. That's what I was thinking. There's something that makes it a little bigger, little heartier. Yeah.
I have to get a waffle iron.
Just a guess, but that's
makes sense to me.
I'm just gonna go get one. Since
He's
somebody
just
must
gonna-
make
he's
them.
He's got
used to be banks gave out waffle irons, but not anymore.
Right, that's true.
That's funny.
Now you're lucky to get a calendar.
That's what I'll do. I'll go to the bank. I'll say, if I open up an account here, do you have a waffle iron I can have? If they say no, I'll say, never mind. I'll take my million across town. Wait a minute, we can get you one. Thank you. Thank you, John.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. No, I think IHOP probably does Belgian waffles.
That would make sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. But no, so plan out your what you're going to do this spring. If you're thinking of a new perennial bed or flower bed, this is a good time of year to start it. It's cool enough to get out there and get the work done. If you're one that's a little adverse to the heat, nice easy way to do is get a garden hose. And use your garden hose to mark it out, because you can bend that and it'll move and shape into something that's not just a square.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Shape.
Yeah.
And allowing you to cut out the area, or then spray paint around it if you'd like. And always make sure you measure out what you've got, so you know sort of the volume of soil amendment that you're going to do. Nothing worse than you get home and you go, okay, I bought 4 bags. I could have probably used 6 to fill that area, to bring up, to make that a nice rich soil, because you want to do your amendments first. Of course, right now, to try to kill off the grasses and stuff, I would probably just get out the shovel and shovel it out. There are some new organic weed and grass killers, and I should have brought this page up before I mentioned it. I just thought of it. We may have to talk about that one after the bottom of the hour break, so that I can bring it up and give you that information. But there is at least one new weed and grass killer that's an organic or more natural way, that it actually will kill the root. The problem over the years, everybody's been using vinegar and things like that. Vinegar just burns the top of the plant.
Really?
Doesn't do anything to actually kill the root.
I think a lot of people are afraid of herbicides because of the bad press.
They are, and that's what I said when I learned about this one. It was at least this one I know that it's one that's considered a safe alternative, and one of the ingredients that's actually killing the root off will be interesting. So when we come back from the break, we can talk about that.
Killing the root off? It sounds like the red-nosed reindeer.
No, not the root off.
All right, if you would like the 2 tickets to the Ocala Civic Theater to see the play that Carol Ann just described, called She Loves Me,
Yep.
I think, right?
She Loves Me, yep.
Plus 2 tickets to the Appleton, right?
Yes.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
All right, call right now. I'll pick a call at random, and we'll talk to you off the air, so you won't be on the air, but you will get the tickets. If we don't answer the phone, that means somebody else got the tickets. Deal? We'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Times of sun and clouds on this Tuesday, breezy and warmer. There can be a shower in places along the coast, but dry elsewhere. The high 70 to 74. Partly cloudy Tuesday night, lows ranging from the mid-50s over the interior to the low 60s along the coast. For Wednesday, becoming mostly cloudy. There may be a shower along the coast, high 76 to 80. Thursday, cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, breezy and turning cooler. Highs ranging from the upper 60s in the northern part of the zone to the mid-70s in the south. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Top Senate Republican Mitch McConnell wants to start debate today on a bill to end the partial government shutdown.
The president is now offering 3-year protections for DACA recipients and other immigrants in exchange for $5.7 billion for fencing, in addition to other border security measures.
So that Congress can work on a larger immigration deal, which everybody wants.
At least 7 Senate Democrats need to side with the GOP to pass the bill.
Fox's Ray Bogan, the shutdown's in its 32nd day. Singer Chris Brown and 2 other people are in custody in Paris. A woman claims she was raped at Brown's hotel suite a week ago after meeting him and his friends at a club. A French official says a bodyguard is one of the 2 other people detained. Brown's been in lots of legal trouble over the years, including the felony assault of his then-girlfriend, the singer Rihanna, in 2009. This is Fox News.
Warning, if you're buried in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies make you think that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call the debt hotline at 1-800-658-2592. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you're struggling to pay off your debt, do not let the credit card companies make you think that you have to. Call the debt hotline now for free information on how to get out of debt faster than you ever thought possible, without bankruptcy. We offer a guarantee with no upfront fees, so there's no risk. For free information, call the debt hotline now. 1-800-658-2592. That's 800-658-2592. 1-800-658-2592.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. 43 students and teachers from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School have written a book about the shooting spree at the school last Valentine's Day that left 17 people dead. The book is titled Parkland Speaks. The U.S. Coast Guard has rescued 31 people after their vessel became disabled off the Bahamas. Some law enforcement agencies in Florida have begun withholding information about crime victims, including the names of people killed, due to their interpretation of Amendment 6. A police officer in West Palm Beach ran over 2 people lying on a dark road to watch the lunar eclipse. A bill has been filed by a Florida state lawmaker aiming to ban abortion if a fetal heartbeat is detected. People who consider themselves progressive say the proposal is extreme. And Universal Orlando's upcoming Dockside Inn and Suites is scheduled to open May 2020, but is already taking reservations. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Come to the 6th Annual Habitat Strawberry Festival on March 2nd, 2019 at the McPherson Government Complex. The festival will have vendors, food, a car show, a kids zone, live entertainment, pie eating contests, and all things strawberry, all to also raise funds to build a habitat home for a family in our community. Check out the website, habitatocala.org, and follow the link. The Habitat for Humanity Strawberry Festival is March 2nd with breakfast served at 7:30. Free admission, $5 parking. See you there. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Thank you, Joe. 25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Let's return to Carol Ann Baldwin. If you'd like to call into the show, the number is 622-9622. Carol Ann will talk to you about your lawn, your garden, the mice in your yard, or anything like that. Or anything. Waffles. Or waffles. Robin texted me, we have a waffle maker. I forgot.
Oh, you have a waffle maker? Yeah. Now you got to get Belgian waffle mix and make you some waffles.
By the way,
just some fresh strawberries and some whipped cream. And
they should be plentiful right now, it sounds like.
That's it.
So I was in your world the other day. I want to tell you what I did.
Okay.
Not in Lowe's, but in Walmart. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it was the gardening section. I don't normally go in there,
right?
But what?
There's probably easier parking place over there.
I got my apple tree in like a barrel, half of a barrel.
Right.
It's really heavy to move, so I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get one of those wheels. A platter. It's a platter with wheels is what it is. I found one. It was great.
Yeah.
But in order to find it, I had to look for it. And in order to look for it, I was in your world.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was where the dirt is and where the plants are. And it was cold outside, but it was like summertime in there. It was beautiful.
It's a whole different, attitude. You got color and all
and they got birds in there. I mean, they fly in from somewhere.
Well, they fly in from outside.
Yeah, they just like it in there, huh?
That's it. We get the birds too. And actually, the other week I had posted the picture of the falcon that flew into mine.
That was a cool photo.
That was pretty cool to have him in there. But you have all kinds of when it's an open air kind of thing, you're going to have little creatures that.
There's so many little things that are interesting. I don't know, like little glass balls that just have color.
Yeah, that are just added
to
the garden, add to the landscape. I mean, people use different. I've seen people use the wine bottles as edging around the garden.
That's a good idea.
And
I like that
a lot
idea.
of times you'll have a lot of the wine bottles will have like a deep inset bottom to the glass, and those collect water, which can be okay for your wildlife, but you also have to watch out that you're not collecting water for mosquitoes during some of those seasons. But people will also use broken china, glasses, cups, teacups, and things like that out in the garden. Instead of throwing it away, that one that got chipped to grandma's, tea set.
And that looks good.
And it can be really pretty, and it can become like a little toad house for your little wildlife out there. I've seen people use, because if folks are like big coffee drinkers or tea drinkers, or they like to collect them, I've seen ones used to write the name of the plants on them in the garden, and set it in there. And I mean, it's not that you're putting coffee cups all over the place. It becomes like a decorative add-on, a little piece of the hardscape within the softscape within the landscape. So it can become interesting. You can use all kinds of different stuff. People use gazing balls, the shiny glass balls, up on a pedestal that reflect light, and those.
I know that one. I got
I've even seen people use bowling balls.
I don't like them. Here's why I love them, but I don't like. Here's why. I got my father wanted one, and I got him one on a pedestal in the front yard. He loved it, and it was stolen. And I said, "What? It was stolen. Let me get you another one." I got him another one. It was stolen.
Oh no!
And I got him a third one, and it was stolen.
Wow!
People steal those things.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's probably because they can't find them in the stores or something. The stores don't get enough of them.
I know. It just was so upsetting. It was in Beverly Hills. This one, not the one in California.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Beverly Hills, Florida.
I mean, do you ever have people steal your garden gnomes and things like that?
Never had anybody steal anything like that, but over at the extension office years ago, and we've had newly planted plants stolen. We had crops stolen.
Crops?
The whole thing of
just somebody comes and grabs all your plants? Oh my gosh.
Well, one year when the azalea tree. Azaleas are known as shrubs, generally. But pretty much anything with a woody stem can be trained up into a tree form. Some of them may be grafted, but into a single trunk with a top that's going to be your foliage and your flowers on it. And one year, this was many years ago, and I can say that because I've been a master gardener that long, that I can say many years ago. Someone had donated quite a few of them to us for our shade gardens there at the extension office in the Taylor Garden. And somebody came in and stole them.
So
they had been planted in the ground, and somebody came and stole them, pulled them right up out of the ground, and they did it like immediately. So the donor gave us a couple more. Couldn't replace all of them. We actually had to cable them, put a cable around them.
That is so
and
bad.
anchor that to the ground.
A scarecrow doesn't stop a thief.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, scarecrow just stops a bird, but five-finger fungus is a tough. That's a
fungus.
We've had whole bed where we planted the sweet Florida onions in a bed and come back and they were gone.
Oh wow!
Whole bed corn one year. That wasn't raccoons and squirrels getting corn. Not when all 300 ears of corn.
Yeah,
are gone.
yeah.
That was somebody filled their truck up and made,
Oh my gosh.
12 for $1 kind of deal.
Could you set them up so that they would pull something that would be illegal, like marijuana? So they have a truckload of marijuana.
No, but I mean, what we did was we planted a different kind of corn that wasn't as tasty the next year. So yeah,
but you couldn't watch. You couldn't watch them.
You would have to
breaking their teeth.
You'd have had to break. Yeah, no, it's just one of those kind of things. You're going, well, you steal it now, you're going to get it home, and
And meanwhile, you're spending your time growing something that you're never going to eat.
You're not going to eat, right? Yeah, which is annoying. But after that, we quit worrying about it too much and just made sure people understood that
So I wonder
you don't
how
know what you're
farmers
picking.
do it. I wonder how a
farmers are huge fields, and
they must lose a lot
fences.
to thieves.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. They usually set far enough off the road. A lot of times, people believe that because it's the county extension offices, that it's county tax dollars that are paying for it. They don't realize it's not.
But
even then, it's still stealing. Yeah. It's still stealing. But
so
sometimes people have the mental state of, well, I pay my county taxes. It's this stuff is mine too.
I have a question to ask you, and it's sort of like confessing to a sin. Okay.
Uh-oh.
When Disney World first opened up, the road to get there had orange groves along the road. It was such a beautiful drive.
Yeah.
And there was trees that were just dropping fruit on the side of the fence that was
out on the road, right.
And we would stop sometimes and get some and put them in the car. And I'm sure we weren't alone in that.
No, I'm
so
sure.
Is that stealing?
Not necessarily, because it's on the other side. It's on the right of way.
I'm asking you if I broke the law or not.
No, it's because that would have been on the right of way, and that's why there was a fence there. Now, if you'd have crossed his fence or reached over the fence, then that's stealing.
Then that would have been bad. These weren't even on the tree. They fell
they
from
had
the tree.
fallen to the ground, and which meant that they were probably either past their
smelled
prime.
so good.
Yeah, they may have been past their prime, and a lot of times.
So we don't grow them anymore. There's not any.
There's orange groves still. It's
not on that road.
Not on that road.
In fact, that road isn't even that road anymore.
Even that road's changed.
Yeah.
But,
they're all houses now.
That's sprouted houses and communities. But no, I mean, there is still a citrus industry in Central Florida. It's not real big. It's a lot more you pick or smaller, smaller mom and pop.
But to pay back my debt to God.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that you got the sour ones.
No, the orange tree that I had outside my door.
Right.
Yeah. People come over. Hey, can I take some orange? I say, take as many as you want.
Take what you'd like. That's it. Oh, sure. And and you figure those growers, unless you were going in and actually harvesting a truckload of fruit, the ones that fall on the ground on the outside.
I often wonder about that.
See, now we had out in our garden several large citrus trees. Out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 trees that were there, only 3 of them had good fruit. One of them stopped fruiting for years and then suddenly decided to fruit again all by its lonesome. But the 2 trees closest to the fence, gorgeous trees, dark green leaves, beautiful, huge fruit that were sour as all get out. They had reverted back to its original root stock. Well, one year, the property that was adjacent to it was a rental property. And we saw the children out playing while we were in the garden and asked, would you like some fruit? Go ask your mom if you can have some fruit. So they ran in, they asked and said, yeah. So we gave them a half a dozen good fruit.
Right.
So I guess Daddy got home from work that day. And the children is telling Daddy all about it. And I think Daddy put the kid over the fence.
Oh, no.
And they picked up the fruit closest to the fence.
The ones that were sour.
And they go, oh, yeah. And you knew that that's what they'd done because one of those was thrown back over the fence, peeled up. Karma.
There you go, karma.
Yeah, answers it. Always ask. Don't steal. Always ask. But you weren't stealing because it was on the ground on the outside. But so it was a whole.
And they must have known.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Especially
and
when,
they knew. And that the fence was there, and there was a good chance that part of that was that's just thought of loss.
Was probably there before Disney World.
Oh,
because in those years it was brand new. It was all new.
Yeah, it was most definitely probably been there for generations. Yeah. To go back to what we were talking about before the break, is that the Natria line, which some people know. Well, I used to work for Bayer. They changed. They sold their homeowner pesticide portion to a new company. So now the company that you'll buy product from, the bottle looks the same, says BioAdvance. But they also kept the Natria line. That didn't change names because it's Natria by BioAdvance. And they have a new weed and grass killer that's available on the market here locally. That's within the Natria line, the natural line. It's I don't know if it's OMRI listed, but at least it's it doesn't say it right here just on the cover sheet that I'm looking at. It's not just going to burn the top of the plant off. It's for weeds and grasses.
It'll kill root off.
It'll kill the root of the plant as well. So it's a non-selective herbicide, natural herbicide, with a secondary ingredient that's actually absorbed into the plant that will kill that root, because normally we would have some of these other ones and you'd spray it and it would kill the weed. But, 2 weeks later, actually, that same weed was coming back up. And unless you are very persistent on spraying on a regular basis, in order to weaken that to where you actually weaken that root system and it dies, you weren't going to win. So this has actually got another ingredient into it that is what they treat, this was my understanding, is what they treat potatoes with to prevent them from sprouting. It's not killing that. It's just preventing that. Wow. Preventing that root from continuing. So it's after the harvest kind of thing that it's treated. And then, so that's what's
amazing
doing
they figured that out.
Except that my potatoes always sprout. So I don't know if I'm buying ones that aren't treated or what. But yeah, my potatoes are sprouting. I need to put them in the ground and grow myself some new potatoes. But that's what that is. So, if you're one who's been, looking for a less chemical, more natural alternative to some of the other herbicides out there to be able to be used. I'm thinking, does it say? It does not. It doesn't stain bricks, concrete, asphalt, used on patios, driveways, sidewalks, and flower beds. It's not saying anything, at least not on, just a cover type thing that I'm looking at, so I can't read. I'm not reading the whole ingredient list or anything like that. I may have to buy a bottle.
Are you on your page?
I'm not on my page. I'm on the Natria page.
Go to the page because Kathy just posted something to show you.
Oh, okay. I gotta refresh.
It looks like an upside down bag to me.
It might be.
I don't know what it is.
We will see in just a moment. But there are some, there are some alternatives out there. Another freeze protection bag.
That's what that is.
That's
okay.
it. Yes,
okay.
it's like the paper yard bags that you can, you buy in, Lowe's has them, Home Depot has them. I don't know whether or not, I think Walmart sells them too, or even a paper grocery bag, depending on the size of your plant. Can be, open it up and put it over, and it becomes a nice little area to hold on to the warmth inside that, to keep that plant warm, especially if you've planted a little early or you've got something that's a little more sensitive. You can do those. You can do cardboard boxes, but the paper bag is, unlike plastic where it's just going to sweat. It'll hold heat in there for quite a while without doing any damage to your plants and giving you some height.
So what do it says I paid $3 to $5.
$3 for 5 bags. They're the yard waste bags. Some communities require that any of your yard waste be bagged up to put to the curb. So you get a package, and there's usually 5 in a package, anywhere between $2 to $3 for the package of them. And even if you've used them, say you have the ability to carry your yard waste down to the local recycle area, like I could. I can go down to Canal and dump mine. I can reuse my bags a few times. Also, if I have a plant in the yard, I can put that right over top of the plant to try to keep it as a little frost protection.
That's a good idea. Mm-hmm. So do you think we might get frost still this week? There's more cool temperatures after the rain. Not
this week. They're not calling for frost. Not that I've seen. Mm-hmm. We've got it maybe, what is this, next week? There's some iffy. What do I got on here?
The coldest I have is...
There's a 37 coming up the Thursday to Friday on this, and of course those all get changed. And the following week we have a 34. I mean, there's always a chance in some of those colder, lower-lying areas to get a little bit of frost. With it being cooler and it not warming way up, that our nighttime temperatures are staying in those 40s to very low 50s, our plants will go to sleep. So they're not going to try to be sprouting out. They're going to it'll be one of those kind of things that they will take that dormancy. Hopefully they'll just sit there for a while, for several weeks now, and you have less damage after this. But now if you do still have some tender perennials, you still will have to watch the weather to protect those. I'm just hoping that everybody's peach trees and things like that, here you're going to finally get your chill hours now, that we don't warm up and that they don't break out of the dormancy too quickly afterwards, or that they hadn't already gotten it. And as soon as we get one warm day, they're popping out. So, that's the only thing with having low chill hour fruit trees, is that sometimes they break that dormancy quick, and then we end up with a frost. And it damages the flower.
Yeah.
And realize, and to go back to strawberries, strawberry plants in your landscape, in the flower, or you can put them in flower beds, you can put them in hanging basket. They make strawberry pots, you can fill them up. The plant itself won't be harmed by freezing temperatures. It's the flower and the fruit. So if you had, say, a strawberry pot or a big planter full of strawberry plants, and it was going to get down, I'd be moving it in, put one of them set of wheels underneath there, or get the hand truck out and roll that thing in when we're going to get the serious cold weather. If they're already in the ground, you could try to cover, but if it's going to frost, that's when your fruit and your flowers get damaged. But they come back, you snip off the bad ones, and keep going.
And they're okay.
And they'll be okay. They sure will. That's the one. Yeah, that is a good thing on this. And with our citrus, I mean, if you have citrus now and you're wondering if they're getting ripe or they're ripe, they should be getting ripe. If they're not, they all the different varieties that are grown in this area should be ripening. We haven't had enough cold enough weather to do any harm to those trees or to those fruit. The little bit of colder weather, actually, everybody says, helps to sweeten those up a little bit. How do you know if your fruit's ripe? Take the fruit in your hand and tip it. Don't twist it. Don't jerk it. If it tips off in your hand, that's going to be a ripe fruit. It may take a little bit of force, but it's not. A little bit of pressure to it, and it'll have just a little bit of give to it and be heavy for its size. That way, it's got a lot of juice in there. But that's pretty. And the only way to really tell is taste it. Color on the outside doesn't mean anything on that. And if your fruit is, which I still haven't looked up, somebody asked me the question, and I really need to investigate it. They have a beautiful tree. It's made fruit, this and that, but the fruit has no flavor.
What fruit is it?
Orange, citrus, citrus trees. It has no flavor.
Wonder why.
But it's one of those strange kind of things, and that they say it tastes watery. Well, it has a lot of juice, but it's not orange.
No flavor at all.
No flavor. Yeah,
wow.
very minimal. Yeah, it's not a pleasant thing to eat. So
really?
I'm not sure if it has anything to do with greening or if it's just a physiological type thing. They say they fertilize and things like that, but I'm not sure. I haven't had opportunity. I probably ought to write that down and try to look it up.
Have you ever had water from a cactus?
No, I haven't.
I often wonder if that has a flavor to it. Well, I haven't either. But they will say if you go into the desert and you are needing water, you can get it from a cactus.
Yeah, you can tap it. Well, have you ever aloe? Aloe.
I've
juice.
never. Well, wait a minute. I think I have tasted it. I think
which is kind of.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah. Because you figure that's it. Well, that's a succulent, I guess, more than a cactus. But still, have you ever had tequila? No, that would be an agave. Never mind.
But if you were thirsty and the only water you had was a banana plant, there's a lot of water in there.
Oh yeah, but
I don't know what
sure.
it tastes like. But
I'm not sure because they're like 80% water as well.
Filled with water. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just try to cut them down and pick up the pieces and move them. They're heavy.
So if you tried to get the water out of one of those big cactus in Arizona, I think you're breaking the law with that one, right? Aren't they protected? Like you're not supposed to cut them?
I mean, you know what? You're not supposed to cut them down, but I don't know if there was anything.
Get a hunk out of it?
Well, I don't know if you actually have to cut a hunk out of it, or if you can just take and tap it. Drill it. Make a hole in it.
Then it would die, wouldn't it?
No, it would probably heal over. You figure there's woodpeckers and different birds that'll actually make nests in those.
They probably get their water that way too, right?
Probably a good chance that they do. Yeah, I'm not sure the regulations being we're not there, we don't have those.
Did you ever see one of those big cactus that they show in the cartoons?
Like the sargasso, what they call it?
Yeah, whatever they're called. Yeah. Have you ever seen them?
Not in person, no.
Okay, can I tell you my little story?
Yeah.
I wanted to show Alex what these looked like because he grew up in Florida. I didn't know where they were, to be honest. So I just kept driving west, thinking, well, we'll see them eventually.
Run into them, right.
We were in western Texas, and the only cactus I saw were the ones that looked like the ones we have here. So I was out of time. I was my whole break. So I said to Alex, "I'm sorry." It was like the year we had a trip to nowhere.
Okay.
So then I did research. This was before there was an internet.
Right. Yeah, you go to the card catalog and look.
Anyway, so it's Arizona. You got to go to. Well, when we went there, long story short, I mean these things were immense. They're like 40 feet tall.
Yeah.
Like a 4-story building. It's unbelievable how big
massive.
they are.
Yeah, they're massive. Yeah, and that's I said. I don't know the regulation on something like that because it would be like damaging them. But if you were at a point that this was life or death, guess what? I don't care about a $500 fine.
I know.
Yeah. But if you're going there just to go, oh look, we can do this. No, you don't do that the same way. You don't go, oh look, there's a sable palm. Let's cut some cabbage out of it.
Do you remember Jim Penna, who just called a little while ago? His mom used to call in and tell us that she would eat, I think, the
cactus pad.
What was it called again? The pawpaw cactus?
The prickly pear.
Yeah, that was it.
Prickly pear.
Pawpaw.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the
pawpaw's
Jungle
a
Book.
Tree. Yeah.
but yeah, the prickly pear.
Yeah.
She would, so what do? You eat that cactus itself?
You can eat the fruit. After it flowers, it'll make a fruiting body. You can eat that, and you can eat the big pad. You can actually buy them in the market. Prickly pear. You can buy them.
Do you cook it?
You cook them. I've seen it pickled, I think, in the stores. You go down like the ethnic aisles, and you'll find it in jarred, canned.
What ethnicity is that?
Mexican, Central American
kind
of thing. I don't think it's too much the islands, but possibly.
And what is it called?
Prickly pear.
That's what it's called, in a jar.
It's a prickly pear cactus, yeah.
Okay. And there's no needles going to poke you in the mouth?
No, it's already been despined.
Because they grow all over the place here, around here. So why don't we eat them more often if they grow everywhere?
Because
how come there are no farms that specialize in that?
They do dragon fruit, which is a cactus fruit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the dragon fruit is a cactus fruit. Prickly pear description juices.
Prickly pear and Belgian waffles. That they don't sound like they go good together.
How to cut and prepare? How do you what? How to harvest and eat a prickly pear? Yeah, there's all kinds of uses.
Huh?
Does prickly pear have health benefits?
Does it? They must.
It must.
If they're asking the question, then
right. It's got to have descriptions and uses and species. There's several of them. Of course, they're also asking, can it make you sick? Is prickly pear poisonous? Health benefits? Is there a season? Desert USA. How to cut and prepare. There's all kinds of different things. But you can take and fry the pad. I've never done. I've never made it myself, but I have had the fruit off of them. I have peeled, and yes, I've ended up with little tiny spines in your fingers, so you have to watch out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a pain. But they are tasty. I do find it, it's palatable.
We are at the end.
Oh, I know.
It's always fun, and it has to end.
It always ends so soon.
Do you have to work today?
I sure do. Yeah, I got to go home and pack my lunch.
Well, tell them that you need to be here on Tuesdays. In case they get any crazy ideas.
Crazy ideas, yeah.
If you don't already know, Carol Ann has a companion Facebook page to go with this show, and it's simply called In the Garden. Become a member, and you'll be able to post photos and see what other people have posted and share ideas and ask questions and just have fun.
That's it.
Just don't sell anything.
Don't try to sell anything. Nope.
Thank you, Caroline.
Everybody have a great day. Thanks.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The Academy Award nominations are announced. Up for Best Picture,
Black Panther,
Black Klansman,
Bohemian Rhapsody,
The Favorite,
Green Book,
Roma,
A Star is Born,
and the 8th and final nominee, Vice.
The announcement on ABC. The Favorite and Roma have 10 nominations each. The Oscars ceremony is February 24th. An American charged with spying in Russia appears in court. Here's Fox's Simon Owen.
Paul Whelan appeared calm as he was brought into the defendant's cage. He listened as a judge rejected a bid for the retired Marine to be freed on bail. His lawyer acknowledging that Whelan was in possession of classified Russian materials when he was arrested last month, a USB drive he'd been handed. But the lawyer saying Whelan had no idea the device contained secret information.
The lawyer says Whelan thought that drive contained photographs from his trip. Instead, there was a list of a secret Russian agency's employees. This is Fox News.
Pros in the know start with Lowe's, because Lowe's has an offer for pros that puts more money toward their bottom line. For a limited time, ask for 10% off your in-store purchase when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Card. That's right. Save 10% on the supplies and tools you need to get the job done right. See the Pro Desk at select Lowe's to get your discount, or visit lowesforpros.com/pro bonus for more details. So, Pro, now that you know, start with Lowe's. Valid through 2/1 in select stores only. Subject to credit approval. Exclusions apply. Must request 10% off at time of purchase. Cannot be combined with any other credit-related offers. U.S. only.
It's been called shell shock, war neurosis, and battle fatigue. Today, we call it post-traumatic stress disorder, and it affects 1 out of every 5 warriors returning from battle in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Wounded Warrior Project offers comfort and support for warriors with PTSD and all other scars of war, whether those scars are visible or hidden. Find out how to help, because for warriors, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. Please visit woundedwarriorproject.org.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. 43 students and teachers from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School have written a book about the shooting spree at the school last Valentine's Day that left 17 people dead. The book is titled Parkland Speaks. The U.S. Coast Guard has rescued 31 people after their vessel became disabled off the Bahamas. Some law enforcement agencies in Florida have begun withholding information about crime victims, including the names of people killed, due to their interpretation of Amendment 6. A police officer in West Palm Beach ran over 2 people lying on a dark road to watch the lunar eclipse. A bill has been filed by a Florida state lawmaker aiming to ban abortion if a fetal heartbeat is detected. People who consider themselves progressive say the proposal is extreme. And Universal Orlando's upcoming Dockside Inn and Suites is scheduled to open May 2020, but is already taking reservations. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Times of sun and clouds on this Tuesday, breezy and warmer. There can be a shower in places along the coast, but dry elsewhere. The high 70 to 74. Partly cloudy Tuesday night, lows ranging from the mid-50s over the interior to the low 60s along the coast. For Wednesday, becoming mostly cloudy. There may be a shower along the coast, high 76 to 80. Thursday, cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, breezy and turning cooler. Highs ranging from the upper 60s in the northern part of the zone to the mid-70s in the south. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Come to the 6th Annual Habitat Strawberry Festival on March 2nd, 2019 at the McPherson Government Complex. The festival will have vendors, food, a car show, a kids zone, live entertainment, pie eating contests, and all things strawberry. All to also raise funds to build a habitat home for a family in our community. Check out the website, habitatocala.org, and follow the link. The Habitat for Humanity Strawberry Festival is March 2nd with breakfast served at 7:30. Free admission, $5 parking. See you there.
Tick-tock. The days fly by, and we find tax season is upon us once again. Not to worry, though. With a reputable CPA firm on your side, you can rest assured that all of your needs will be handled in a professional and thorough manner. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart is just that firm. They're there for their clients year-round, not just during tax season, to handle your needs and answer any questions you may encounter. At Robson, Scribner, and Stewart, there is no client too small or too large. Their expertise ranges from the single individual to the largest of corporations. Get your return prepared by a professional who will use their years of experience to ensure that your tax return's outcome will leave you in the best possible position. Call them today at 694-4184. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart. They're there for you today. Again, that number is 694-4184. Time is of the essence, so don't delay. 694-4184. Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Ocala Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage checks.
Not to mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA.
Is called Auto Repair with Personal Care with Matt Gibbs. And if you have a question for Matt about your car, your truck, your SUV, whatever it is you drive, if it's got an engine and four wheels and a transmission, chances are Matt knows a bit or two about it. And if you want to pick his brain, you are welcome to do that. Oh, where's your picture? The number is 622-9622. Now you can see Matt if you were looking on the live feed on YouTube. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Larry. Hi.
Matt, of course, is from Sunrise Automotive, which is where you can get your car fixed or maintained, and Crossroad Auto Sales, where you can go buy your car.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you win the lottery, you get a new one every year, and then you bring the old one to Matt and let him sell it.
Huh.
You ever have somebody bring you a one-year-old car to sell?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's not a bad idea, huh?
No. Well, it kind of is.
Why?
Well, because when they first bought it, and then they paid this much money for it, and then they're going to go to sell it after a year, and it's like, wow, the difference of price.
Yeah, but it's a good deal for the buyer, wouldn't it be?
Sure is.
What's the weirdest vehicle somebody's ever brought you to repair? Was it the horse carriage you showed us one time?
Well, yeah, I did a horse carriage. That was off the beaten path. And then I did this car, an Alfa. No, it wasn't Alfa Romeo. I've worked on that. It was I did a Granger.
What is a Granger?
It was it's a multi-purpose military vehicle made by Carolina Growler. Yeah, that was pretty unique. And I'm trying to think of this car. It was crazy. I can't think of the name of it. You know, when we went to Cuba 2 years ago on a cruise.
Right, yeah.
And I saw cars there that I didn't know what they were.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just, you know.
Were they not American cars?
No, they weren't American cars, and I'd never seen the badge on the car. I'd never seen that badge before. That was pretty cool, seeing cars that you've never seen before.
Do you remember the story we had about the electronic license plate technology that's going to replace?
Vaguely, yeah.
That was in the news again this morning.
It
that
was.
Apparently this is like a year away from happening.
Okay, all right.
So this is going to be an interesting change that you pay the Division of Motor Vehicles and you're just registered. Nothing. You don't have to put anything on or change anything.
Well, you know, in Europe. You know, you ever watch the old movies and stuff, and you see the license plate? They're like real long.
Yeah.
That license plate is with the car. That never changes ever. So when you buy that car,
really,
that's the number associated
it's
to that car.
attached to the car, like permanently, so a thief couldn't take it?
Exactly.
Huh.
Exactly, Larry. Exactly. So that car, that's the number to the car. That's it. There is no other number.
You know what's interesting is the electronic license plate is also going to be an amber and silver alert system.
Okay, all right.
So this is, I'm not sure about this. It sounds like you'll be following a car and the license plate in front of you will say amber alert and you're supposed to read it. It's not that big to read a license plate. It's kind of small. Well, you'd have to be at a stoplight. You have to be that close. Right? I mean, if you're following a car, you can't read the license plate, can you?
I can't.
But the other thing would be, because usually an Amber Alert car has the license plate on the sign that said, look for license plate number, whatever.
Right.
So this one could flash and say, this is the car. This is the car.
Here I am.
This is the car.
I am. I'm a kidnapper. I am the kidnapper.
There you go. I mean, that sounds like something doable.
Yep. So that means the kidnappers are going to have to figure out a new way to transport the kidnapped.
Wow.
And they will do that.
And things that work will eventually break. This could be a new thing that you have to fix.
God, I hope not.
My license plate's not working.
Yeah, I hope not. No. Honestly,
or it's glitching.
I have to raise up the next generation of
of mechanics.
Yes,
my 8 looks like a B. Can you fix that?
Yes. Let me get my 4-year-old grandson in here, and he'll fix your B.
Yeah, that was one of those stories this morning too. So, how's everything over at Sunrise?
We're doing really well. Really well. It's been awesome taking care of folks and servicing these cars.
You love what you do.
I do. We were talking about that. We were talking about that in my office yesterday. Me and Tom Brown. Tom Brown is he's like, Philip's kind of retired now. He's kind of he's doing something a little bit.
Is Philip not there anymore?
No, Philip's not there anymore.
Okay.
He's actually delivering parts now. He just wanted to do something less stressful. And when you deal with the public, sometimes it can be stressful.
Is that what the stress comes from? Is the public? Just people like me saying, "Where's my car?"
Yeah, it's just dealing with the public can become stressful. Okay, so
well, hopefully I'm not one of them. Hopefully.
No. And I think I don't think that there's, I'm not going to say that there's a bunch of jerks.
What is the behavior of the stressful customer?
It's just a lot of customer. You're keeping up with 10 things are going on at one time. You got 5 mechanics taking care of 10 cars. That's 2 cars per, but you only got 2 people in the office, so their workload is double. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just becomes stressful. Yeah. And so Tom Brown is a guy that worked over at Pearson Nissan. He actually, when I was a young man, he was a service manager at Palm Chevrolet, and he tried recruiting me to come and work at Palm Chevrolet at the time. And I never did, but I've known the guy for, like Philip, most of all my life.
That was a good company, Palm Chevrolet, wasn't it? I had a good experience with them.
Yeah. And I think all the dealers in town are they have the potential of being really good, and I think
potential.
Well, what happens is it's the people that make it.
Of course, yeah.
It's so Tom is just like, he's that people person, and we were in my office yesterday talking, and we were just sitting back and reflecting on how things have changed. In the last, I've had Sunrise Automotive for 25 years.
Wow.
So and then
when's your anniversary? We need to get you a cake or something.
Well, it was in March.
Oh, okay.
Back in March.
So you come on 26th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and going back and looking back and reflecting and knowing that, and then I spent time working for the GM dealerships here in town. Back in the day it was Jeff Hatch, that owned the Cadillac store, and Gator Lyles that owned the Oldsmobile dealership.
I remember that name. Yeah.
I go and Bo Williams Buick.
Remember that name? Yeah.
And being around these guys, and
so you knew the guys. I just knew the names.
Yeah, I got to know I got to meet them guys, doing what I do. And
car dealership guys are like local celebrities, aren't they? Because I knew all those names.
Well,
you just
those
said.
are not. Those are the owners.
Like Mr. DeLuca.
Frank.
Yeah, I don't know him.
I went to school with his son, Frankie. So,
but see, they're like celebrity car dealership guys are celebrities.
Nah.
You need to put your name on your car dealership. In addition to Crossroad, it should be
Matt Gibbs.
Matt Gibbs.
Yeah,
Crossroad.
see, that sounds like something Tom Brown would say.
And you would remember that guy in Orlando? I want to sell you a car. What was that guy's name?
Artie
Yes,
Grindle?
Art Grindle. And then he ran for politics later on.
But he was a used car salesman. He had a used car dealership. You remember he used to jump on the hood?
Right.
He did that thing.
Right.
And then give you a discount. How much you want to knock off after you jumped all over my car, He had the vans, too. He had the Artie Grindle vans.
I never realized how much they were celebrities until we just started talking about it.
I don't know if celebrity is the right thing to say or not.
Local celebrity.
Local celebrities, okay.
Except Art Grindle, he was statewide, I think. Right?
Yeah, he was like Sanford or something.
Didn't he have a big statue of himself outside of his store?
I don't know. I never went down to his store. But the car business has been a good business to me and my family, and I feel like we've treated the community well. But there's going to be the day when this thing is going to have to be passed on to the next generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they will have a different world of cars than you have.
They'll have a different world of cars. They'll have a different outlook on cars. Everything is going to be different.
I wonder if the next big change is the license plate. I mean, if they're talking about next year building cars with already installed license plates.
Nah, the license plate's not the thing. I remember in 1985 when the government said we have to have a third brake light. You had the two on the car and then the one in the back window.
Yeah.
Well, that came in 1985. That was so. If this was 1985, if we went back in time, we'd be sitting. Man, do you know that next month?
Well, wait a minute.
We're gonna have these lights on the back windows of the cars.
Take a guess at this, because I'm assuming you don't know the numbers. Statistically, did that third light make fewer accidents?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But that's what they were saying back then, right?
Well, yeah, they were. It's safety. It's just another.
Because somebody must have said, the reason we're having so many rear-end collisions is nobody can see those lights. They're too far apart. We need a third light.
Right.
And that's how they sold us on the idea. Yeah.
Well, that's like the TPMS systems in the cars today, tire pressure monitoring systems.
Oh, right.
They all came around because of the issues that Firestone had with those tires. You remember when the Firestone tires were and the SUVs, and they were flipping and killing people? Well, right after that is when they came out with this TPMS system. So there was a reason why that these things are here.
Do you know what I noticed? I noticed when I refer to somebody's vehicle as a car, they will always correct me. No, it's an SUV.
Uh-huh.
To me, like, the word car should be applicable to anything but a truck.
Then you should say vehicle. Your vehicle, now they can't say anything. It is a vehicle.
Now, that is how I say it, by the way. Vehicle. I don't say vehicle.
Vehicle?
I don't enunciate the H.
It's a vehicle. And that covers all of it.
It does. Have you ever noticed the different professions in the cars? There was a story about this morning, that dentists are more likely to drive Mazdas. That was one of the... Have you ever noticed that? You're a dentist. I bet you drive a Mazda?
No.
How many dentists do you have as customers?
A few.
Do they drive Mazdas?
No.
Oh, none of them?
I don't think a single one does.
So this start... Well, maybe...
I'm going to go, but now you know what I'm going to be doing for the next 2 hours when I get back to work? Oh, wow. Nope.
What about old people?
What about old people?
Do they?
Why we got to pick on old people, Larry?
I'm okay with that because I'm old. So I mean, do old people typically? Okay, when I was a kid, if you said what car does an old person drive, you would say a Cadillac.
All right.
That was always like the standard answer. I don't know if it was true.
No, it was. Because Cadillac went after 55 and older people.
So today, what do old people drive?
What do Hey, why don't you? Hey, this is a call-in show. Some of you older guys out there, what do you drive?
I drive a Buick.
Buick. There you go, Buick.
That sounds like an old man's car, doesn't it?
I think, to be honest with you, I think that stereotype has kind of gone away. To be honest,
yeah, I think you're right.
I think that a lot of the manufacturers are going toward not even making cars anymore. They're gonna put all their resources in SUVs, crossovers, trucks, because that's what the people are wanting.
Right.
And so I see older people driving all sorts of different stuff. They're not driving the Cadillacs and the Buicks anymore.
What does it mean when the ad for the car says comes with a truck tranny? What does that mean?
A truck?
That's how I read it.
A truck tranny. Like a transmission.
That's what I'm assuming it meant.
Then I would say that's an SUV, not a crossover.
Okay.
That's how I would interpret it.
A truck, an SUV has a truck transmission?
An SUV is basically a multi-purpose vehicle on a truck chassis. A crossover is a multi-purpose vehicle on a car chassis.
But it was in a print ad. I got a key in the mail.
Okay.
You ever get the key?
That wouldn't start nothing on this planet.
It was glued to this very glossy, very big advertisement.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And it was a nice picture of a nice vehicle, and it said it came with a truck tranny.
Right.
And the word tranny, when I was a kid, meant transvestite. So
we're talking transmission in our world.
I know, but immediately I thought of that. I thought, a truck transvestite. Look at that. There's going to be one in the car when I get it.
Is this really a truck with a
transvestite
car transmission?
You get
it?
So it just means that it's a heavy duty transmission.
Yeah, it would be something that would be ready to pull something. So if you got a boat or a camper, not to dress up and act funny on Saturday night.
And it stays in the car.
Yeah.
So when you get in the car, hey, how you doing? Did it good? I was wondering when you were coming in.
Oh, brother, we're gonna get in trouble on this show, aren't we?
Why?
I don't know. Are we allowed to do this? Are we allowed to make fun of things?
That's not making fun. That's a word. Tranny.
Tranny is.
Did you not hear that word when you were a kid?
Oh, absolutely. I say it almost every day. Yeah, it's a common word for me. It's just your definition is not where I usually go.
Okay. That wasn't your...
No, that's not my definition.
Hey, the phone lines are open if you want to call in.
Nobody's going to even come close to this show today. Y'all just stay right where you're at. Go in your garden.
622-9622 if you want to call in. Look, we got a new drum. You see
I see that.
It's a djembe.
It's a djembe?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
It doesn't look like it looks like it's kind of offset a little bit.
It is tunable with the rope. The rope tunes the drum.
So there's a way to tighten those little...
Oh, my gosh. If you look at the instructions, it is... I mean, you have to really know what you're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
So we put the tuner on it, the guitar tuner.
Yeah.
And it was tuned to C sharp. I don't know what that means. I don't know how you use that information, but...
I don't think it's very relative.
When you play your drums, do you tune them?
I like a certain sound. But here's the thing: if I'm playing a drum unmiked, just acoustically, they sound totally different than when they're mic'd.
Oh, okay. I never knew that.
Yeah, they do. They sound total cymbals. Everything sounds different when they're mic'd.
So do you have a sound? You know what? By the way, I was going to ask you about sound systems in cars, but do you know that CB I offered you?
Yeah.
Nobody wants it.
No, I don't. No kidding.
I have a nice. It's a, what do you call it? Cobra CB.
Okay.
I don't know anything else about it, but it's free. Anybody want it? Call me. Well, I had it in the car that I had. And
hey, this is the only radio station. This is the only radio show I say that's willing to give away something. If you're the third caller, you'll get a free CB radio, and ain't nobody calling. It's got to tell you something, Larry. I can say, listen, I got a pillow. A pillow.
We had a guy who gave away a pillow.
Right? And the phone was ringing off the hook.
Yeah. Oh, you knew about that story.
Well, yeah, you told me. So here, if you're the third caller today, we got like 3 minutes left.
That's right.
You can win a CB.
Oh, I hate when the show ends. I like this show. Why don't you do an hour show?
I was never asked to do an hour show. Oh, man. Hey, buddy, with your shoulder. Hey, with your shoulder. Guy with the shoulder.
Hey.
I just got done today. They just let me out of the...
3 weeks. Three surgeries.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. I just got done. Went to the doctor
So
today.
you knew from his...
I could tell by that sling.
That it was the same thing?
Yeah.
You don't know the man, though.
I don't know who that was. I felt bad for him, that's all. And that's his third surgery, he said?
Empathizing.
Oh, my goodness. I tell you what, I'm about to go crazy.
How's your arm? Your arm's okay?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm doing what the therapist is telling me to do. I'm doing what my wife is telling me to do. I'm doing what the doctor is telling me to do. I'm doing it.
And what are those things?
Like, not much.
They're telling you don't do much?
I had to hire somebody at the office to do what I started physical therapy. I just got released. I took the sling off today.
Right.
I don't have to wear the sling anymore, and I can start working out with 5 pounds of weight on this arm. And in 6 weeks, I got to do this. That's my goal, to be able to raise my hand.
You can't lift your hand right now?
Oh, no.
It's too painful?
Yeah, it hurts too bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep, so 6 weeks.
Don't do that.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do that.
That looks like Hitler thing. That looks like that Heil Hitler.
Hey, hang Hitler.
So anything people are doing to get ready for a road trip? For example, if the airplanes aren't flying and I have to drive to New Jersey on the 31st?
Yeah, just come. You don't even have to do anything other than drop your car off to Sunrise Automotive, and then we'll take care of everything.
Make sure it's all good and ready to go.
That's it. That's all you got to do.
I'm going to do that.
You know, you don't have to worry about your car. Let us worry about your car.
That's a great motto.
You know?
Yeah.
I got plenty. Everybody's got stuff to worry about.
So I don't have an SUV. I have a crossover?
You have a crossover.
Okay.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
So I'll take my crossover to Cross Road, and then they'll be double crossed.
And then they'll just send it over to Sunrise, and it all comes around, and it all looks nice, and it all works.
Oh, that's right. Sunrise is the
repair
mechanic. Yes.
Yeah.
And is Tom a new guy?
Tom is he's been with me for several months now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I mean, he's not a new guy. He's been in town working. He's been in the car business.
If I come over there, he's at Philip's old desk?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then, he is. And then there's another new guy, Richard. Richard is helping me with some of we do medium-duty trucks. We do these haulers and stuff. And Richard's kind of helping me work through that process.
None of these people with trucks can use a CB radio?
No. Well, we offered it. Third caller gets a free radio. Hey, I figured out a way to not have a call in my show. I mean, how many shows have we had and not had one single call?
Yeah, they're all married.
Don't feel bad though, Larry. Don't feel bad. It's a CB radio. It's so old.
Well, maybe I'll just come to you and ask you to hook it up, and I'll use it.
But you won't.
What do you mean I won't?
There's nobody to talk to, Larry.
There's nobody out there?
No. Breaker 19. You could be breaker 19. Breaker. Hey, anybody out there? Breaker 19.
Hey, you know what I saw? I saw these earbuds that will translate. Do you go to countries that speak other languages?
Not often, but I do understand what you're saying. Some of the churches actually have stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, this is an amazing technology.
And it interprets.
But the only thing is, the other person can't hear like if you don't know how to say it. Like you'll understand like if the lady speaks French and she says, "Would you like another croissant?" You'll say, "Oh yes, I would," and hopefully she knows how to understand. Yes, I would. And she has to have the earbud. But anyway, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
You can translate languages.
Yeah.
And it detects the language. So let's say you're in a mixed crowd, and some Chinese guy says, "Hey, get over." You get over. And then the Russian guy says, "No, you get over."
World War III breaks out. And we all get over.
Oh, my God. How come this is a fun show? You gotta. What's the formula to make a show fun? Oh, there it is. There it is. Go to see Matt and Tom and everybody else over at Sunrise Automotive. They will take care of your car. Don't worry about your car. Let them worry about your car. And Sunrise Automotive is at 1800 Northwest 10th Street here in Ocala. And if you want to buy a car, go to Crossroad Auto Sales. Same address, 1800 Northwest 10th Street. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Larry.
This is WOCA Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The Academy Award nominations are announced. Up for Best Picture:
Black Panther,
Black Klansman,
Bohemian Rhapsody,
The Favorite,
Green Book,
Roma,